to really protect the assets of the company. As you know, we're going to take in, probably have over $650 million worth of inventory. If we get another 30 days of not having to pay, that allows us really not to borrow money from the bank. It does a couple of things. It increases our leverage as far as we're concerned, and it avoids the interest payments, and it gives us a lot more opportunity to work with our cash flow. The vendors have been willing to do it. I think you have to ask, not like you're going to get refused, but ask like you're going to accept it and expect it. Walmart does it, Target does it. So we're not asking for things that are different than other people do it. So I urge all of you, for those of you who really haven't been as diligent as many of the people have, that it's out there waiting to be asked for. And I'd appreciate it if you really would put a lot of effort into it, because we all can use the savings. A little over 1 year ago, Brad Glazer was taken away from us with a tragic accident. Brad was a wonderful person, really a stalwart of the organization, and certainly one of the long-time associates who knew Venture and was Venture. Glenn Chase worked very hard to put together what he calls a short anthology on remembering Brad. Glenn?
Don't be shy, come on in. Sunday, August the 8th, 1993 was a bad day. On that day, many of us lost a dear friend and business associate who in many ways was an institution in this company. A lot of our lives will never be quite the same. Today, we're going to recognize a person who dedicated 22 years of his life to this company. An associate who was liked, if not admired, by both his vendors and his peers. Because Brad Glazer was such an institution at Venture, we felt it appropriate on the anniversary of his passing to remember him at this forum of his peers. For those of you who never had the privilege of knowing Brad Glazer, and for those of you who knew him well, I hope the next few minutes will serve both as an introduction and certainly more importantly, a reminder of what a truly unique individual Brad was. The last 12 months have been difficult dealing with this void individually, but now it's time as a group to remember a person who should never be forgotten. 1 year after his tragic, untimely death, the name Brad Glazer still evokes strong emotions from those of us who are exposed to this personality on a daily basis. Brad added much needed comic relief to a world that was sometimes all too serious. To say he was the funniest man I ever knew somehow seems inadequate. He was a multifaceted, multi-talented charmer. He had a way of making people feel important, and as a result, people wanted to help make him win. Brad Glazer was a buyer extraordinaire who, over the years, bought everything from calculators to cameras, TV games, and lastly, audio and video electronics. He had a unique style all his own that earned him a reputation as a truly talented and professional merchant who could really adapt to any situation. During his career at Venture, he favorably impacted all of his businesses, and along the way earned the admiration, respect, and friendship of both vendors and Venturites alike. Buyer of the Month plaques wallpapered his office, and of course, he would leverage that as an excuse to ask for a bigger office. Brad, in fact, was always one of Venture's top-rated buyers, but his professional accomplishments were far overshadowed by Brad Glazer, the man. He taught many of us here much more than the business of retailing. He taught us about life and what matters, about relationships and people. He was about as charismatic and personable as anyone I've ever known. He possessed not only an incredible wit, but also had the appropriate facial expressions and mannerisms that really put him in a league of his own as an entertainer. In a moment, those of you who never met Brad Glazer will understand exactly what I mean. I consider myself fortunate to have worked with Brad Glazer for most of my career at Venture. I use the word work loosely because As you're about to see, it wasn't exactly all work. You couldn't help but have a good time hanging out with Brad, as these clips from our Sight and Sound videos are about to illustrate. At the time they were taped, I never imagined how priceless they would become, but obviously now, they will help preserve the memory of Brad Glazer for eternity. And we believe Brad the entertainer is how he would like to be remembered. Because one of the things Brad did best was to make people laugh and feel good. From our point of view, he was simply the best.
I call you, I need you, my heart's on fire. Come to me, wild and wild. You come to me, give me everything I need. Give me a lifetime of promises and a world of dreams.
Better known to most of his friends as Let Me Entertain You, Mr. Brad Glazer.
Speak the language of love like you know what it means. And it can't be wrong. Take my heart and make it strong. You're simply the best. Better than all the rest. Better than anyone. Anyone I ever met.
Joining us now, senior buyer, and we call him senior because he's very old, Brad Glazer, ladies and gentlemen. Brad Glazer. Hi, Brad. Welcome to the show. Have a seat. Just so our TV audience knows, exactly what do you buy for venture, and it would help me as well.
Glenn, I buy Department 64 cameras, 265 calculators, 310 telephones, 364 word processors, keyboards, and typewriters, and of course, 365 TV games.
I'm sorry I asked. We're out of time. Good night, everybody. Gee, Brad, that's a lot. How much volume do all these departments add up to? And exactly where's the excitement coming from for Sight and Sound?
Well, believe it or not, we'll do $3,700,000 during Sight and Sound, and that's a 27% increase over last year. And I just happen to have a short list of exciting items I would like to talk about.
Holy cow.
Step down your heart. I hang on every word you say. Tear us apart. Baby, I would rather be dead.
It says right here that if you need any additional information, just call the buyer, Brad Glazer, at 1-800-VENTURE.
Well, honey, go for it.
What do
you
you
can't
think?
lose.
All
Do
right,
it.
I'll do it.
Brad Glazer Venture Stores, we're so friendly it hurts.
In your heart, since the start of every night and every day. In your eyes, I get lost, I get washed away. Just as long as I'm here in your arms, I could be in no better place.
On a more serious note, it has been reported that last fall's highly touted Sight and Sound Jeopardy contest was tainted by alleged cheating in the final Jeopardy round. The accused, Brad Glazer, joins us now in our studios to share his side of the story. Brad, exactly what did happen on that day last November?
Glenn, I haven't seen the videotape yet, but to the best of my knowledge, the gentleman standing on my left was merely soliciting my help in answering the final Jeopardy question. I was just merely looking over his shoulder to see if what he had written down is what I had told him to.
Let's go right to the videotape and see exactly what did happen last November. Well, it all boils down to this. The category of software, our contestants have made their wagers, so without any further ado, the final Jeopardy answer is, this entire classification is priced less than last year. Good luck, contestants. Time's up. The category once again is software, and the final Jeopardy answer is this entire classification is priced less than last year. Carl, you've got $3,200. May I see your question, please? What are Nintendo? I think you mean Nintendo carts, but that is incorrect. For $3,200, that breaks you at it even. Let's move on to Brad. Brad, you've got $2,600. Can I see your question, please? Also, what are Nintendo carts? No, that's incorrect. Well, I think the video speaks for itself. We'll take a short break while Brad begins to prepare his resume and return with more news right after this.
You're simply the best. Better than all the rest. Better than anyone. Anyone I'd ever met.
Now, here's our consumer advocate, Brad Glazer, with a look at one of this year's most frequently purchased products.
Okay, that's milk, bread, baby oil. I'll get back to you. Yeah, me too. The Panasonic unit features beeperless remote control, dual cassettes, remote turn-on, call screening, and one-touch operation for message playback.
Hi, Brad. Looking forward to seeing you later on this evening.
For those wanting a little more in an answering system, Venture will offer the PhoneMate Model 7050 with built-in telephone. This unit features beeperless remote operation, remote turn-on, dual cassette system, call screening and toll saver, 9-number auto dialer, plus one-touch operation.
How's that German Shepherd of yours?
Ooh, I'm stuck on your heart. I hang on every word you say. Oh, tear us apart. No. Baby, I would rather be dead.
Potpourri for 200.
And the answer is 2 things that should never be late. Brad.
What are Sight and Sound ad goods and your girlfriend?
Yes, that is correct. Please continue.
Each time you leave me, I start losing control. You're walking away with my heart and my soul. I can feel you even when I'm alone. Oh, baby, don't let go.
Dear Glenn, I'm not 100% sure, but I believe that not every item purchased by the buyers is a winner. What is the action plan to rid the stores of lemons? And that's from Dan in store 14. Well, Dan, you happen to be exactly right in your assumption that not all that glitters is gold. When an impending overstock rears its ugly head, I insist that the buyers take swift and decisive action. As a matter of fact, Brad Glazer, our telephone buyer, faced just that kind of problem last week. Hi, Brad. Come on in. What can I do for you?
Yeah, well, Glenn, they just got here.
Well, do what you have to do, but we've got to get rid of those lemons.
Do I really have to do this?
Brad, you know as well as I do, until you free up the slow-moving inventory, we can't bring in the hot merchandise.
Well, I'll do the best I can.
Good luck.
Listen, this can be easy or this can be hard. It all depends on you. Let me speak. We've got a lot of lemons in our stock right now, and we've got to get them out to make room for the new inventory. I need the RA, and I need it now.
Okay. Where do I sign?
I sign right there.
He dumps it in the zone, and it's offsides.
That was a frosting call, frosting the buck, wasn't
Oh,
it?
that's right. There was a frosting call on that play.
Definitely.
Definitely frosting, and the puck will come back to the Buffalo zone. Blues had some good opportunities there on the power play, but couldn't convert.
Yeah, but they screwed up.
Boy, they did, didn't they, Brad?
I'll tell you, they're only 17% on a power play against the Sabres this year. That's what we're playing, right?
I'll tell you what, we are playing Buffalo, aren't we? Yeah, that's well below the NHL average of 22%. So
what? 22%?
22%.
Where'd you get that?
You ready? Remember, if you hear this sound, I said if you hear this sound, back to Final Jeopardy. The category again is margin dissipators. The answer is a game maker's new rules could zap our profits. Contestants, good luck. Okay, contestants, time's up. Ann Peters, you have 2,000 points. The Final Jeopardy answer, again, is a game maker's new rules could zap our profits. How did you respond? Who is Nintendo? I believe you mean Nintendo. Even so, that answer is incorrect. I needed more information. How much did you wager? You bet 1,000 points, dropping it to an even 1,000 points for the round. Brad Glazer, what was your response? You had something crossed off, thought better of it, and responded with, what is Nintendo's new return policy? That is absolutely correct. What was your wager? You bet it all, 2,200 points, giving you 4,400 points, and that puts you in front. Now on to our leader, Gary Severson, with 3,200 points. Your answer, please. What is Nintendo's new return policy? That is also correct. Very good, Gary. What was your Final Jeopardy wager? And you wagered 1,300 points, giving you 4,500 points. Congratulations, Gary. You're our spring 1991 Sight and Sound Jeopardy champion. Announcer-type person, tell Gary what he's